people treat you different when your lady's unattractive.
They treat you different?
They treat you, yeah, they
They
judge
treat the
you.
man different?
They judge you based off your lady. Absolutely.
What you mean?
She's a reflection of you.
Okay.
So if you have an unattractive woman, and you say you're in a business setting, right? You bring her around, they're gonna look at you like you don't make good decisions.
Wait. You're saying if you're in a business meeting and your woman comes in and she's unattractive, they think you don't make good. What if she's smart?
Men don't do a lot of business with men who are like, who that's your thing. Like you have 4, 5s, and 6s around. You can get a lot more opportunities as a man from other men if they know that you're a guy that brings around a nice atmosphere when you're around. Like you, the guy that all the women like.
Yeah.
He's gonna get some opportunities based off that.
Dang.
Believe it or not.
Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. So as you saw in that clip, that gentleman was saying that men are judged for the type of woman that they have. And in particular, men are judged if they are paired with, or they choose to be paired with, a woman who is considered to be conventionally unattractive. And of course, we know that beauty is subjective. So people's preferences and likes and interests will vary. But for the most part, society can tell when you are considered conventionally attractive, the symmetrical face, you put yourself together, you look good. And they can also tell when you are not considered conventionally attractive. You're the opposite of what I just mentioned. And he was probably kind of just saying it as a matter of fact, like pretty much that's why successful men who are in the public eye are only paired with women who look good, because they will lose or they will go down in rank or a couple notches in society if they choose to pair themselves with a woman who is conventionally unattractive. And I'm not sure why that woman was acting surprised. I guess maybe it's the harsh truth being said out loud. He pretty much said the part that most people don't want to say out loud because they're like, oh, beauty's subjective, that's superficial. You know, you should value a woman for what's in her head and not what she looks like. And while I agree with that, the fact of the matter is, as I've said time and time again, men and women are socialized to want their dream partner should reflect their ability to pass on their lineage and to survive. So for men, that is a woman who looks good, because beauty signifies fertility, even if that man does not intend to procreate and have children. And women, we have been sociologically wired to only mate with or pair with, even if we don't intend to have children, only pair with men who are financially secure, who have enough resources not only to take care of himself, but to take care of you. And so because we all know that this is nothing new, we know that men will sit on the internet and talk about the type of woman that they prefer, and she has to look like a baddie. So as a woman, instead of you getting offended by this and saying, well, I'm smart too and I have a great personality, which is great, you should have those things because those are the attributes that will keep you in certain spaces. You need to learn how to play chess instead of checkers and move logically and strategically instead of being in your feelings all the time. And the way that you do this as a woman is to, number one, only pair with men who have money. As the inverse, if it is fair for a man to only want to pair with a woman who looks good, it is thereby your right to only pair with a man who has money and resources to give you a comfortable life or to add on to what you have already established for yourself. And number two, since men, because these are not rules that women set up, these are rules that men set up. Since men have established that a woman's value on the surface level is in how she looks, it is in your best interest to use their game against them and make sure that you are benefiting from your looks over anyone else. Because whether you are paired with a man romantically, or you're hired for a job because you look good over the average looking girl, even if you're not as qualified as she is, or men and women choose to primarily be friends with you because you are attractive, you need to make sure that every single social interaction that you have benefits you in some way, shape, or form. And in this day and age, people will say, well, money isn't everything, but the cost of living will tell you otherwise. A primary way that you can make sure that you are benefiting from a social interaction is to make sure that that interaction will either directly give you some sort of financial monetary gain, or at the very least, give you some sort of social currency where you can then indirectly capitalize off of that social currency and be able to get more money long term. And one of the common ways that this plays out is having a robust network that will be able to connect you with the most lucrative jobs in the industry, so that you either don't have to apply for that job, or at the very least, if it's a formality, you apply for that job, but you are listed as the preferred candidate and you are pretty much guaranteed that job against your competition. And people will critique this and say like, oh, you shouldn't be self-serving and it's a form of social climbing if you only have interactions that benefit you. And yes, like, you shouldn't just stop at having superficial relationships. Any relationship that you have, especially if it's personal, it needs to have some sort of substance. But as you are navigating life, and before you even get to that stage in a relationship where it is concrete, you need to first ask yourself if this situation benefits me. And if it doesn't benefit you, you need to very quickly remove yourself from that situation or avoid it altogether. So if you are in social settings where you're around other women, for example, who think that being beautiful will keep them in a room, then you need to detach from those women. Even though the topic of the video is using your beauty to get ahead, that's only half of the game. If you are a beautiful woman who is not qualified, is not smart, is not personable, you don't have a good personality, then you're going to get invited to these spaces, you're going to get used, and then you're going to get discarded. But if you are the total package, you have a great personality, you're smart, and you're beautiful, they're going to want to keep you around more than the woman who is qualified, but she's average looking, or unfortunately for her, maybe she's unattractive. They're going to keep you around because, as this man said at the beginning of the video, men are judged. Even if it's not a romantic relationship, they will be judged for the type of people that they have on their team. They're going to talk about it on their team, in their social settings, romantically, whatever it may be, because it signals that you as a man are not really on top of your game if you're not able to pull and attract an attractive woman in some way. It signals that as a man, romantically, you don't have the resources to attract and keep a beautiful woman. Professionally, it signals that you're not paying well enough. And so beautiful women, we know that because we got it like that, we don't have to settle for breadcrumbs. We can literally go to another job that will either, number one, pay us more, or number two, we'll be willing to negotiate for a higher salary. And if we're not getting that in one place, then we'll go somewhere else that'll give it to us. And just as an aside, if it's not already apparent, if you're new to this channel, I don't give a damn about the male gaze. All of the information that I give you is not so that you can attract a man by any means necessary. It's not so that you can pander to men's interests, so that you can be picked or chosen by a man. Being picked and chosen by a man is not an achievement or a prize. It is so that you can survive in the game of life. Okay? I don't make the rules. I simply observe the rules of the game and I develop a strategy so that I can get ahead. And that is what every single woman who wants the best possible outcome in life for herself needs to do. Secondly, as it pertains to finances, as I said before, women are valued for their looks, men are valued for their ability to provide, have money. Since men have set it up where a woman's value is pretty much in how she looks, not only should you capitalize off of how you look, but you should also only hang around men, people in general, but particularly men, because even though women make up 50% of the population in general, men still hold a large monopoly in the way that things work in the world. You need to only align with men who have resources. And that doesn't just stop at romantically. You need to get rid of your broke male friends. You need to, if you have them, you need to get away from companies, businesses, industries that don't bring in any money. So that SJW, social services type of industry, unless you're able to find a way where you're pulling in cash and you're able to live comfortably, I would highly recommend that you limit your interaction or pull away from that altogether. And I know that people join those type of industries for different reasons. That's great. On this channel, again, we talk about leveling up so that you can live a truly soft, comfortable life and so that you don't have to struggle in life. And unfortunately, SJW and social services, even though social services are necessary, they will not give you the level of comfort that you need to live a prosperous life. And as a matter of fact, they will drain you as a woman emotionally. But that's just as an aside. You need to make sure that you are energetically aligned with where the money's at if that's what you want. And so if you're constantly finding yourself hanging around broke people, but in particular broke men, and I say broke men specifically because men typically earn more than women in the same industry for the same type of work. He has no excuse as a man to not be out earning you, and he has no excuse as a man to not have more resources than you, because this world again was set up by men for men, and women were just included as an add-on most recently in history. So if a man, for whatever reason, hasn't figured out a way to capitalize off of his male privilege and patriarchy, that's not your problem. Then you are operating at a deficit by, number one, energetically aligning with someone like that who clearly doesn't know their worth and their power and are not using their power to their advantage. But number two, you're going to have to compensate and pay that tax in some shape or form. The first and obvious way is in him resenting you, especially if you are romantically aligned with a man who makes less than you. In particular, in the Black community, Black men will use Black women's resources so that they don't have to do anything, but he will turn around and cheat on you, physically abuse you, and talk badly about you online because he resents you. He does not respect the fact that you are playing the masculine role while he has very clearly played the feminine role by receiving. So even though he will quietly accept those resources, deep down inside, he resents you for being the man that he couldn't be. And that also translates to your friends, where this goes for men and women as well. If you have friends who don't earn as much as you, and it's not even to say like dollar for dollar, like if you don't earn the same salary that I make or in the same ballpark, then you ain't ish. But if your friends are very clearly struggling because they either lack motivation, they lack the drive, they haven't taken the time to figure out a strategy to get ahead, or they're just simply lazy, they are going to resent you for having the drive that they wish that they had. This is both men and women, but especially for men, a male-female platonic situation. And it may show up as them saying things like, oh, you think you're better than me, or you look down on me and you think that I'm broke, when maybe you've never said anything like that out of your mouth, but because you have the drive and the passion to get ahead, especially if you yourself were once broke, maybe you didn't come from a family who has resources, and so you literally had to build from scratch. If you found a way to elevate yourself, earn more money, gain more social capital, etc., and your friend who started off at the bottom with you is still at the bottom, they are definitely going to resent you for being able to achieve something that they were not able to achieve. And not only will they resent you, they'll be jealous, that goes without saying, but even more so, they're going to expect handouts. It's almost like you have an obligation to pull them up, right? Oftentimes you'll hear like, oh, once you make it out, it's your responsibility to reach back and help those behind. And obviously, yes, we need to help each other so that we can get ahead. Regardless of, this is a principle that is practiced across multiple socioeconomic statuses and social classes, where each one teach one, they each build each other up so that all the resources can circulate within that social circle and everyone kind of elevates. But the only way that that can work is if everyone is on the same page energetically and mentally. And if you are not a go-getter, if you're not around people who are go-getters, their idea and interpretation of let's build each other up is you do all the hard work, I sit here and complain and talk about how disadvantaged I am. And because you managed to do all the hard work and succeed, you now have to pay it forward by doing the hard work for me, and I take the credit. And obviously that's not fair. And obviously that's going to leave you feeling drained, unmotivated, taken advantage of, stress, etc. And so pretty much you need to detach yourself from leeches, people who are not motivated, so that number one, you can stay focused on your own goals, but number two, you can stay hot and beautiful. Because when you're stressed out dealing with your own life and you're stressed out dealing with other people and their inability to help themselves, it's going to drain your life force. And you hear this time and time again with many Black women saying that they feel overwhelmed. They feel like they're not appreciated, whether it's in their family setting or in their community, because they're out here caping for everyone in the community and not able to take care of themselves because they're tired and overworked. Men in general, this obviously doesn't apply to every single man, but in general, they don't like when women use their brains and beat them at their own game, or very simply just play along. They kind of just want women to sit there and passively be victims to their manipulation, be victims to their patriarchy, and they don't like when women fight back, which is the number one reason why you'll hear these red pill losers say that, oh, modern women, you got to stay away from the modern woman. And what they mean by that is stay away from a woman who is career driven or who is about her money, a woman who has goals and aspirations, a woman who is smart. At the same time, turn around and ask, what do you bring to the table? So it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You're damned if you have goals and skills and aspirations and dreams that you're actively pursuing, and you're damned if you don't have dreams, goals, aspirations, skills, and you kind of just sit there and wait for a man to rescue you. It's set up this way so that they can always be in control. They can always feel like they're on top, especially, and this only applies to men who don't have anything going on, by the way. Men who are self-actualizing, men who truly operate like men, and they build and lead and create, they will only align with women who know their worth. They will only align and will be attracted to women who work well, who look good, take care of themselves, because you signify that you're the total package and that you know your worth. Anyway, these are my thoughts on the topic. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.
Humility is a fucking lie. What has it gotten you? Other than being overlooked, underpaid, and underestimated. They told you to stay humble while they bragged about doing half of what you've done. They told you not to shine too bright while they built empires off your ideas. They told you to wait your turn while you skipped the line. Humility didn't make you holy. It made you invisible, motherfucker. You've been shrinking so other people could feel comfortable in rooms you were born to fucking own. You've been silencing your voice so people who don't even matter could be big around you. Let's be real, humility was never about virtue. It was about control, about keeping lions acting like pussies. And the second you stop pretending to be humble, they'll call you arrogant because you can't handle your awareness, because they can't handle your awareness of your own power. So no, I'm not humbling anymore. I'm honest, I'm aware, I'm done pretending I don't know exactly who the fuck I am. And if you don't know who the fuck I am, this is who the fuck I am, bitch.